Hey there, it's Lenny McGill with the GlockStore Performance and Custom Shop in the amazing Nashville studios today, and we're going to talk about magazine release buttons. In fact, installing a magazine release button, and one of our most popular items for all the Glocks is an extended magazine release button because the factory buttons are pretty small and pretty hard to actually get your hand on, especially the Gen 3 versions. Even the Gen 4 buttons can be improved with an extended magazine release button. And that's one of these right here. It's our checkered extended, which is one of my favorites. It's just slightly extended, has a little better texture on the top, but it gives you the ability to manage the release button without adjusting your grip, which is really important. Now, in the old days, not really that long ago, but really I've been doing these for so long. It's been like 20 years ago I did a video on this. And we used to use a flathead screwdriver to access the magazine release spring, which is buried inside the frame. I'm going to show you that here in just a little bit. But now there's a new tool, and it's incredible. And I'm telling you, it makes it so much easier that I just was so excited to show you this because, you know, with the flathead screwdriver, you spend a lot of time in there digging that spring out. So it's a little wire spring. It's just a single little spring. So let's go ahead and kind of first of all, talk about this tool. It's got a unique shape to it right here, which makes it so much easier than the flathead screwdriver that you're really going to want to think about having one of these. Now, the reason you want to change your button out is because it is small. This is a Gen 4 Glock 34. Kind of a rare animal because Glock is discontinuing the Gen 4 guns and even the 34 itself. There's the factory button. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the magazine, make sure the gun is in fact unloaded. And it is. Boom. Now this demo is really, just talking about this particular gun, but this tool is going to work on all the Glocks because they all share the same spring that is buried in the frame right here in the front, inside, in the magazine well there. So here's how we access this. We're going to go ahead and take the gun apart. Wrap my hand up around the slide here, pull down on the slide lock, hold down on the slide lock, and walk that slide straight off. Boom. Slide goes there. Here's the frame itself. Now, I don't have to do too much more on the disassembly to access that button. Remember, we're changing the factory plastic button out for the extended aluminum checkered button. And this happens to be in silver. It's available in many different colors as well. But the silver one actually shows well. And it is now, of course, for the Gen 4, they're reversible. Okay, not ambidextrous, but reversible. You can actually change it around to the other side if you're left-handed and access it with your left thumb, whereas I'm right-handed and I access it with my right thumb. But first, we have to remove the factory plastic version, and to do that, I'm going to demonstrate this new tool. Now, you see that V shape right there, and inside that V shape is just a wire spring. What the objective here is to go in and pick up that spring with this really neat little tip that is designed on this tool that I'm about to demonstrate and lift it out. Now, if you look at the actual magazine buttons themselves, they've got a little notch and the spring rests in that notch and it springs back. And that's what gives it its spring pressure, the back and forth pressure. When you push the button, it comes back because the spring wants to come back. So what I'm going to do now is go in here with this tool and lift that spring up and out. And then what we're going to do is kind of show you what it looks like first, and then I'm going to pull the spring out, and then I'll replace the button and put the whole thing back together. On the Gen 4 and 5 guns, you need to remove this spring because it makes it a lot easier to put the button back in, the actual mag catch itself. So taking my tool, I've got a little flat edge here. It's really nicely shaped and just feels good in your hand. I'm going to go in here and just pull it across. Now again, you really can't see this on camera, but it's that easy. I mean, that's how easy it was, all right? With a flathead screwdriver, you kind of struggle with it, but let me show you what it looks like now. So here I have lifted the spring out of the notch, and you can see it's resting on top of the actual mag button. So now what I've got to do is I've got to go in there with a pair of needle nose pliers and pull that spring out. And that'll give me access to the button itself. So needle nose pliers, going in here, I'm going to grab hold of that spring and just yank on it. And there it is. Look at that. This is the spring I'm talking about. Now, what's crazy is the gun doesn't operate without this spring. Just like that. It's really because your magazines just fall right out. I will put the spring down. I don't want to lose it. Don't want to roll it away. And there comes the mag button. Just falls straight out. Like I said, now you'll see that magazines just don't stop. Don't catch. So that spring, as simple and easy as it is integral to the entire gun. That's why we like to include it in one of our survival parts kits, because you can't operate the gun without it. Crazy as it seems. Now, okay, so like I said, first thing is to go ahead and install the button itself. Now, the button just goes straight in from the other side, excuse me, and it's going to catch on that side there. All right, so that's what it should look like. Now, this is where it gets to be a little bit tough, but not really. So you just need to have some needle nose pliers. And I'm going to take this spring like so. And I'm going to put it into the V. And again, it's going to be hard for you to see it. But what I want to do is I want to hold the button, the mag catch in with my thumb. And I'm going to go right down here. And I'm going to put this spring right into that V. And get it started. And it's basically there. Now, I'm going to take the nose or the tip of this, and I'm going to push that V all the way down. Not V, but actually push the spring all the way down into the V, so it's totally seated. Okay. And there it is. So here's what it looks like. Now I'm just going to use my tool, and I'm going to push that spring over into that little notch. So I'm looking down on this thing. I take the tool down here like so, and there you go. Here, a little snap. So it jumped into the notch, snapped over to the side, and now this is what it looks like. See how the spring has basically disappeared in there? And it's in the notch itself. And now, when I look at the button, it actually has the spring pressure that I want. I can look down and see. Push the button, it springs right back. And now when I put the magazine in, it works. Just like that. And it's pretty simple. I mean, it really is simple if you have the right tool. Like I said, you can do it with a flathead screwdriver. But I'm telling you, necessity is the mother of invention. And these guys came up with a great tool, and we're so impressed with it that we wanted to share it with you because it makes it so much easier to manipulate that little spring. Now, if you lose your spring, we have extra springs. But bottom line is, you probably want one of these tools. I know I've got one in my bag, and it's one of those things where you really don't really think too much about that little spring. But as I've demonstrated, the gun will not function without that spring. So that said, I hope you are impressed as I am with this little tool. I'm Lenny McGill. This, of course, is the GlockStore Performance and Custom Shop right here in Nashville. If you're ever in Nashville, we invite you to come down and check out our retail store. We're just 2 miles from the airport, and we'd love to have you come in. We've got an amazing shooting room, amazing selection of Glocks, and all kinds of fun tools and accessories to help make your Glock better and make you a better shooter. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.